Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the sacred journey of Call Mantra, Embrace Divine Grace. Let the celestial vibrations uplift your spirit and guide you toward inner peace, abundance, and divine blessings. Open your heart, chant with devotion, and awaken the infinite grace within you.
Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping into something that, well, it feels like it should be simple, but often gets tangled up in complexity. We're talking about meditation. Specifically, what's really, truly essential to practice it.
Right. Beyond all the techniques and traditions.
Exactly, because it's something so many of us are drawn to, but then we hit these walls, expectations, rules, this feeling of, am I doing it right?
Absolutely.
Our source material for this is really interesting. It comes from excerpts from Osho, 3 Essentials for Meditation. You can find it on the Osho International YouTube channel.
Osho has a way of cutting through things, doesn't he?
He really does. So our mission today is to unpack Osho's core principles here. Let's try and slice through the noise and get right to the heart of meditation, according to him. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and it's needed because you hear it all the time, don't you? I can't meditate, my mind's too busy, or I try to focus, but I just can't.
Totally, the classic struggles.
But what's fascinating here is that Osho's take, it's surprisingly accessible, almost the opposite of that intense mental discipline idea we often have. I think exploring these essentials, really digging into them, might offer some genuine aha moments for you listening, no matter what your previous experience is.
Okay, I'm ready for an aha moment. Let's dive in. The first essential Osho talks about, the foundation, is a relaxed state.
Sounds simple enough.
It does, but then he clarifies, no fight with the mind, no control of the mind, no concentration. And that's where it gets, well, surprising, right?
Definitely counterintuitive for many.
Because don't we usually associate meditation with, trying to concentrate, fighting off distractions?
That's the common approach, yes. We think we need to wrestle the mind into silence.
Yeah, like mental arm wrestling. Think about it when you sit down, or even just trying to get quiet. How often do you find yourself forcing it? Trying to push thoughts away?
And this raises an important question, doesn't it? About our whole cultural conditioning, really. We're always trying to do something to control, to achieve.
Right.
Osho's point, I think, is that this very effort, the fight, the control, actually creates more tension. It becomes the obstacle itself.
So trying harder makes it harder.
Kind of, yeah. It's like trying to smooth out ripples in water by splashing more vigorously.
Yeah.
You just create more disturbance. Applying force often makes the mind resist even more.
Okay, but I'm still grappling with this. If my mind is just buzzing with, my shopping list or worries, isn't some kind of effort needed to gently guide it back or to quiet that noise?
That's a really good question. It's a subtle point.
How can you be relaxed, but also, doing something about the mental chaos? Isn't doing nothing still an effort for us?
Well, I don't think Osho is suggesting complete passivity, like just zoning out entirely. It's more about the kind of engagement.
Okay.
It's an active choice to release the effort of control. Think of it like floating versus fighting a current.
Ah, okay.
Floating requires a certain yielding and engagement with the water, but without struggle. Fighting the current is pure effort and resistance.
Nice.
So instead of battling the thought, oh no, the shopping list, you just notice it. There's the mind thinking about shopping. You acknowledge it, but you don't get into a tug of war with it.
So the relaxation isn't about having no thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about having no conflict with the thoughts that are there. You change your relationship to them.
Okay, that actually shifts things quite a bit. It's not about emptying the mind, which always felt impossible.
Right. It's about non-resistance.
So if we're building on that relaxed state, that non-resistance, what are we actually supposed to be doing then, if we're not fighting or controlling?
That leads perfectly into the second essential.
Which is?
Just watching with a relaxed awareness.
Watching. Okay, so observing.
Yes, watching, observing whatever's going on without any interference, as Osho puts it.
Without interference. So thoughts pop up, feelings arise, maybe you hear a noise outside, and just watch it.
You just watch it. You don't analyze it. You don't judge it. You don't follow it down a rabbit hole. And you definitely don't try to push it away or change it.
But it needs to be relaxed awareness. So not just spacing out.
Precisely. It's a specific quality of attention, aware, present, but also deeply relaxed and non-involved.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Why is that kind of watching so important, just observing?
Because the power lies in the non-interference.
Yeah.
When you simply observe without getting involved, without analyzing or judging, you start to create a little bit of space.
Space.
Yeah, space between you, the one who is watching, and the thing being watched, like the thought or the feeling.
Okay.
And in that space, things can just arise and pass naturally. They don't get stuck because you're not feeding them with reaction or judgment. It's like watching clouds. You see them drift by, maybe some dark, some light, but you're not trying to grab them or change their shape.
That space idea feels really useful, but how do you actually cultivate that? Especially when a thought feels really strong or overwhelming. It feels like it might just sweep you away.
Well, it's not like flipping a switch. It definitely takes practice. But the space isn't some mystical thing. It's that moment of recognition where you realize, I am aware of this feeling of anger, rather than just being angry.
So separating the awareness from the content.
Exactly. I am the awareness of the thought, not I am the thought. And in that tiny gap, that little bit of awareness, there's freedom. The freedom not to react instantly. And this practice, this watching, it starts to reveal patterns. You might notice, every time I think about that upcoming deadline, I feel this knot in my stomach.
Without judging the thought or the feeling.
Ideally, yes. Just observing the connection. Thought X arises, sensation Y follows. Seeing that pattern clearly without entanglement can actually change your relationship to it. You start to see the triggers before they fully ignite.
That makes sense for everyday anxieties.
Yeah.
But what about really difficult stuff? Painful memories, strong sadness? Does relaxed awareness mean you just let that wash over you without trying to, fix it or understand it?
Another really crucial point. Osho isn't advocating for indifference or suggesting you shouldn't deal with problems in your life.
Okay, good.
This is about your internal experience during the observation. It means watching the nature of that sadness. How intense is it? Where do you feel it? Does it change? But without adding extra layers of resistance like, I shouldn't feel this, or this is terrible.
So you're not feeding the fire with more negativity.
Precisely. You're disarming its power to completely overwhelm you by observing it without getting caught in the mental stories about it. You let the energy of the emotion just be. To rise, maybe peak, and eventually pass.
And sometimes insight comes from that.
Often, yes. Because you're not fighting it, you create the space for understanding or even spontaneous release. You're allowing healing by just being fully present with what is.
Okay, I can see how powerful that could be. It's a complete shift from suppression or struggle.
It really is.
And that brings us beautifully to the third essential. Osho says this one is crucial for the other two to really work.
Yes, the linchpin, perhaps.
And it is. No judgment, he says. Watching the mind silently without any judgment evaluation.
Ah, yes. The tricky one.
I think so for most of us, right? Our minds are like judgment machines, good, bad, right, wrong, should, shouldn't.
Constantly evaluating.
We judge our thoughts. That's stupid. Our feelings. I shouldn't be angry. Even our meditation. I'm bad at this. I keep judging.
The meta judgment, yes.
How often do you find yourself, sitting quietly and immediately slapping labels on whatever pops into your head? It feels almost automatic.
It does feel automatic. And what's fascinating here is we often mix up this inner non-judgment with not having values or discernment in the outside world.
Right, like becoming passive about everything.
Yeah, but that's not it. Osho's talking about the inner landscape. During observation, judgment itself just becomes another thing to notice. Oh, there is judgment arising.
So you observe the judgment too.
Exactly. The moment you introduce evaluation, this thought is bad, this feeling is good, you break the relaxed state. You're no longer just watching. You're interfering again. You're back in the role of the controller, the evaluator.
You step out of being the silent witness.
Precisely. It fuels the conflict. Instead of, that's a bad thought, stop thinking it, the approach becomes, awareness of a thought labeled bad is happening now. And now, awareness of the judgment itself.
So it's not about magically stopping judgmental thoughts from ever appearing, because they probably will.
They almost certainly will.
It's about how you relate to them when they do.
That's the core of it. Non-judgment allows acceptance. It lets things just be without needing a story or a verdict. You simply allow the judgment, like any other mental event, to arise and pass without latching onto it.
That sounds liberating, actually.
It can be profoundly liberating. It helps you see the difference between the mental content, the thoughts, feelings, judgments, and the clear, steady awareness that perceives them.
And these three things, relaxation, watching, non-judgment, they all work together.
Absolutely. They're not really separate steps you do one after the other. They're more like simultaneous qualities of the same state. They support each other. You can't really watch with relaxed awareness if you're busy judging.
No, the judgment creates tension.
Exactly. And you can't maintain a relaxed state if you're constantly interfering and trying to control what you see. They form this unified whole.
What's fascinating here is you hear echoes of these ideas in so many different contemplative traditions, don't you? Maybe using different words, but the essence.
The essence seems remarkably consistent. This underlying state of relaxed, non-judgmental observation. It suggests something fundamental about how we can relate to our own minds. When all three are present, meditation stops being a chore or a struggle.
It becomes more of an allowing, an unfolding.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it, an unfolding.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap those 3 core ideas from Osho because they really cut through a lot of the usual meditation jargon. First, cultivate a truly relaxed state. No fighting the mind, no controlling it.
Let go of the struggle.
Second, just watch whatever arises, thoughts, feelings, sensations with a relaxed awareness. No interference.
Simple observation.
And third, absolutely crucial. Do this with no judgment, no evaluation. Let things be as they are internally.
Witnessing without commentary.
For anyone listening who's maybe felt overwhelmed or confused by meditation before, these 3 points offer such a clear, essential path. And here's where it gets really interesting. How do these simple ideas, when practiced, actually start to change things? It's not just a technique. It feels like a whole new orientation to your inner world.
It really is a shift in relationship.
So what does this all mean? This deep dive into Osho's essentials, relaxation, watching, non-judgment, it gives us a very clear, very direct way to approach meditation. It's less about achieving some special state and more about letting go of the things that prevent a natural state of peace.
Less about adding, more about subtracting the effort and interference.
Right. It's an invitation to relate to your mind with less struggle, more ease.
And that naturally leads to a final thought, maybe something provocative for you to take away and consider.
Okay, let's hear it.
If these 3 qualities, relaxation, non-interfering watching, and non-judgment, are the absolute bedrock of meditation, what would happen if you consciously tried to bring just a little bit of that into your daily life?
Outside of formal practice.
Exactly, even for just a few moments. What if, in the middle of a stressful meeting or stuck in traffic, or even just listening to someone, you tried to access that state, relaxed body, watching what's happening internally and externally without immediate judgment?
Wow, that's quite a thought.
How might that shift your experience, your interactions? Could these simple meditation essentials actually be profound tools for navigating the complexities of everyday life with a bit more clarity, a bit more space, a bit more peace?
Not just on the cushion, but out in the world.
That's the invitation. See what happens when you apply them, even briefly throughout your day.
A powerful idea to experiment with. Thank you for exploring that with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you for tuning in to the deep dive. Maybe try observing your very next thought with a touch more relaxation and a little less judgment. See what happens. Until next time.
Struggling with health, financial worries, wealth, relationships, or career? Don't let these challenges hold you back. Harness the ancient power of authentic Rudraksha, planetary remedies, and Vedic astrology to restore balance and attract success. But act fast. These sacred remedies are in limited stock. Visit callmantra.com today to transform your life.
If this resonated with you, join our spiritual journey. Your support keeps us growing. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So like, comment, share with friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.